If you haven't already watched any of the previous episodes of Hardcore Adventure, you should. Watching them will contain everything you need to know about the goal I need to get to and the whole story that leads up to this point. Otherwise, keep watching. Previously on Hardcore Adventure. I arrive home from my woodland mansion. I go back to the cave to mine some ores for trading. I do a ton of trading with the villagers, getting a ton of emeralds in exchange for ender pearls. I go into the nether for the first time. I start the hunt for another fortress, nearly dying in the process. I found one, killed some blazes, came home, and I began doing a bunch of brewing, crafting, and upgrading to prepare for my next and most interesting adventure. I go out to an open area and I throw an Eye of Ender. That Eye of Ender will go in a certain direction. That direction is where the stronghold will be located. I just need to go there. I began walking in that direction, avoiding all the mobs in the process. I also take this opportunity to kill off some endermen so I can get some more Eyes of Ender just in case I need them. I continue forward and eventually hit an ocean. I placed down my boat and I kept going. I killed this enderman and got an ender pearl, which I will craft into an Eye of Ender, bringing me to 12. I continue the journey forward and after about 500 blocks or so, I come across a village. Here I throw another Eye of Ender and it directs me this way. I continue that way. I come across this really weird structure. It almost looks like a statue of a person, but regardless of this find, I still continue onwards. I throw another Eye of Ender and it directed me behind me, which means I have passed the stronghold. I try to hunt down the exact location and after more rows, it points me to this part in the ground. I dig down at that location and discover a cave. I look around in the cave but I didn't find any sign of a stronghold, so I kept digging down. I came across an abandoned mineshaft and looked around. After some looking around, I found the library of the stronghold. I look in the chest to find some really good enchantments in there, but unfortunately I don't have an anvil on me, so I can't put these enchantments on my gear. I began the hunt for the end portal in the stronghold. I look and look and looked more, and I kept on looking, but I couldn't find it. After about 30 minutes of searching, I gave up and I started digging around. After all of that, I finally find the end portal, which oddly enough was separated from where I was looking. I do a little bit of inventory management, and I started placing down all the Eyes of Ender in their respective places on the portal itself. I placed them all down and boom, the portal comes to life. After a little bit more inventory management, it's time. I walked forward into this portal and I found myself on the other side. I spawned slightly underneath the island, so I just built up and now we can proceed to the middle of the island. This is the Enderdragon fight where my goal is to defeat the Enderdragon. What I do first is take down all these towers and avoid looking at the Enderman, otherwise it could be bad. I start the process of taking down the towers. I start with this tower. I walk forward a little bit and then I take down this one up here. The reason why you need to take down the towers is because the Enderdragon will heal from these towers, making it very difficult to finish her off. The Enderdragon also throws breath at you, and it will spew breath where it lands, where it will linger for a short amount of time. If you walk into the breath, it will hurt you. I proceed to take down the next tower, but I couldn't quite reach it. I've only got so many arrows, so I have to be preservative with them. I just take down this one instead. I walk over here to finish off this tower. I began the process of taking down these ender crystals that are reinforced in iron bars. There is no other way to destroy them but to climb up there and break the iron bars. This is where the Enderdragon fight gets a little risky because the Enderdragon can charge at you at any time and send you flying to your doom if you're not aware. Don't worry about the Enderman noises here because the Endermen are more concerned about the dragon than I am. After a decently long time climbing the tower, I get to the top. What I do here is that I break 2 iron bars, fall down the tower and shoot the Ender Crystal from below from a safe distance. It makes dealing with these towers less painful and risky since you're not on the tower for so long. I do the same procedure for the next reinforced tower, although I get knocked off by the dragon here, luckily falling in the water. I shoot the tower and proceed to the next. You can also do some damage to the dragon when you break the tower that the Enderdragon is healing from, although it's not going to do much unless it's your last tower. To get these harder to reach towers, I climb up one of them first to get them more easily. I got 2 towers this way, but the Enderdragon knocked me off here and nearly killed me. I used the potions of healing to heal myself here. I tried to climb the tower again, but I got knocked off again, nearly killing me. I took out this tower from the ground. Just one more tower left to go and we can start dealing damage to the Enderdragon. I attempted to finish off this tower, but it didn't give me enough height. I climbed up this small tower and got knocked off immediately, just realizing that the Enderdragon is being very aggressive. I'll go back up the tower and finally I took out the last one. Time for the fun part, dealing damage to the Enderdragon. It's best to deal damage to the Enderdragon when she is on the end portal in the middle. She has a habit where she occasionally stays on the end portal and breathes on you, doing damage. You can easily damage the dragon using your melee attack, and it's the only way to damage her when she is in that spot. It takes some time to reduce that bar to 0, so this will take multiple stays to defeat her. After she flies off that spot, I usually leave the dragon alone until she comes back in that spot, which is the great time to strike. An important tip is to stay away from the front of the dragon, otherwise you will get sent flying into outer space, which did happen during the fight here. I again wait for the dragon to go back in that spot and attack as much as I could. The Enderdragon is nearly dead and she came out, so I suppose the time she goes back on the top of the portal will be her last. She's done it and there she goes. That was quite an intense fight, that was. Our reward is a bunch of XP and that item which is at the top of the end portal, the dragon egg. I attempt to collect the dragon egg by punching it, but I couldn't find it afterwards. I'll just say I acquired the dragon egg here, although I didn't actually collect it. That leaves me with the elytra wings and the shulker box to get next. To get those items, I need to go to the end islands. When you defeat the Enderdragon, an end gateway spawns, which will take you to the end islands. They spawn on the outer sides of the island. I locate the end gateway and build to it, and there it is. That's all for episode 5 of Hardcore Adventure. Stay tuned for the finale coming later this week, and goodbye.